And Estate Max welcomes you to Potomac, Maryland, April 11th, 12th, and 13th for a true estate sale. Yep, this is a true estate sale. Generations full of interesting stuff, including some of the coolest lamps I've ever seen. A bunch of Windsor chairs with plank bottoms, clocks, decor, objects to arts, ironstone pottery, even some Steuben glass hanging around here in various places. This place is so packed, I'll be lucky to get it in one take, but I'm going to try to do it. Doors are open at 10 a.m. on Friday the 11th. First come, best served. Hang on. A couple of neat things we isolated out here. When was the last time you saw 1935 Disney Enterprises lunchboxes? That's right. These two are original Disney Enterprises lunchboxes from 1935. And that's an original Robbie the Robot and train. Check out that Robbie the Robot. At least my favorite thing in the whole sale, I think. Artistic stained glass double panel doors. We have two of those. They're both double panel. We have some runners that are still tied up there. Some vintage furniture and antiques. The basement is loaded with antiques. Wait till we go down there. We're going to do a sweep of that, and then we're going to move around a little bit more. Some great silver and silver plate. I think there might even be some sterling hiding in there if you look closely enough. And pewter. Look around, though. You never know where you're going to find something that maybe we forgot to move.
Staffordshire.
Wedgeford, Staffordshire.
Wedgwood.
Beautiful dining room stuff. Fold down table, drop leaf tables. Beautiful stuff. Japanese prints. Beautiful lamps. Beautiful sidebar. Stuff is really good. There's some really good antique pieces here. A lot of glass work, tons of glass. Like I said, we found at least a few pieces of Steuben. There's probably more mixed in. Lots of Chinese and Japanese, I should say Japanese pottery. Japanese china. There's a pretty table here. Then we're going to walk into the sunroom, which is filled with neat stuff too. Here we are in the sunroom off the dining room. Old antique bellows, scale, pretty bench. I don't know what a table saw is doing there, but that's a good one. More beautiful chairs, baskets, steamer trunks. I think we have 6 steamer trunks laying around in really good condition. There's one, there's another one, there's one, there's one. And the dollhouse, look at that. Look at this hand-built dollhouse. Someone's going to love having that dollhouse. Check that out. Okay, we're going to walk in through the dining room to the family room, see what we can find in there, and then we'll come back to the kitchen. Okay, again, we're still on the first floor. Carpets for sale. If you like LPs and records, there's a real good cross-section of 50s, 60s, and 70s vinyl LPs. There's even some lacquer hiding in there. All these LPs appear to be in really good shape. It'll take a while to go through. We've got some in the family room, too. Again, we're in the family room here. Here's the balance of your LPs. Some classical and jazz, too. Pretty desk. Washington Senator's pennant. Tell me something that nobody's going to buy that fast. I think that'll go fast. Here's a Russian cigarette box. Some Sony loudspeakers. Pretty desk. Needs a little bit of cleaning up. If you like old tools and old measuring devices, things like that, old yardsticks, we've got them here. We've got some really good collector stuff. This is a pretty piece here. Some artwork, some theater glasses. We'll show you some costume jewelry in a minute. Everything you see in this video, April 11th, 12th, and 13th in Potomac. This table's interesting. Those are really old vintage telephones. They appear to be in working condition. Parts value alone, they're worth quite a bit. Vintage and old cameras. We got them. Older bookends, slide projector. And how about this Polaroid big swinger? Who remembers the big swinger camera? I remember having one of those. That's a slide projector. Some luggage. Go around the back side of the family room. That's in a real Olympia. I'm sorry, that's a Hermes typewriter. In mint condition, comes with a case. Hermes typewriter in mint condition. I think I learned to type on one of those. There's a real Coca-Cola fiberglass insulated cooler in great shape. We have vintage and old-fashioned bar sets. That's a really old series of bar things, including that ice dish, which I really like. Pretty desk. Here's some costume jewelry Lori's sorting out as we speak.
And some garnets, really nice antique garnet set.
Really nice stuff. There'll probably be more. We're still setting up the costume jewelry, so come back for more. This isn't all we're going to have. We're going to have more. Dinette set in the kitchen. Chairs are very nice. This is great. This is a wall hanging unit. You can put plates on it. You can put collectibles on it, hang it anywhere. These are the rest of your kitchen things. There's a couple of really nice pretty sets of china. Priced right, Estate Max wholesale pricing. Can't beat that with a stick. No tariffs with Estate Max. Complete with your olive drab appliances, which are not for sale, but we do have some older appliances here, which are such as the Oster blender. So the basement is pretty much not to be believed. We have radium glass. We have some Steuben glass hiding in here. Some really pretty old china. This is a collector of antiques. So I'm just going to do a quick run through here so you can get a feel for the breadth of stuff. You're going to want to bring a few boxes and some packing material with you when you come to this sale, especially if you know what you're looking at. In the back there on the fireplace wall, some true vintage pieces, antiques. Corner cabinet. Here's the back of that decor and china table. Pretty collectible glassware. These guys are old. There we go. Show you a few true antiques. Stuff in every nook and cranny of this place. It's really not to be believed. This display piece is in a back lower bedroom off the basement. It's actually really big, but you could use it to display plates or a lot of other collectibles or quilts or things like that. TV tables, looks like you're from the 60s. And we're going to turn the corner and look for more stuff. Still in the basement, everything you see in this video is for sale. We're going to walk into an interesting room here, which is loaded with some antique four-poster furniture, some antique radios, some artwork. That's a bench. I don't know why that bench is standing outside, but that's a neat bench. Now check out the gaming area. And that's a real Class A racing, a superset. All these are in really good shape. Original badminton set. Look at these board games. Original board games. See if I can get out of the shadow here. NFL conference hockey. Old board games. Like some of them for the late 50s, early 60s. You game people show. Look at that fireman's helmet. Kid would love to have that. So we're still in the basement. Now we're in the back of the basement. We're going to look at tools. Look at this old set. Old chisel and lathe set in the original case there. Great sets of crosscut and miter saws, drill bits. Pretty stuff. Some antique tools. Look at the size of that saw. It's in perfect condition. So you tool people might have to dig a little bit. We got something for the tool people here. Drafting table, grinder and vise. Okay, we're now upstairs. There's a pretty wall hanging and mirror. Some great end tables and coffee tables. How about this chest of drawers? Hand-carved chest of drawers. That's a nice piece. Taking a walk through the guest bedroom. It's kind of a settee, kind of a chair there in really good shape. Some small occasional tables. Some appropriate for wash basins. That's a mid-century modern piece right there, suitable for bar. How about this pretty pitcher and bowl set? Fold-down table, lamp, mirror. We love this little kid's player piano. That's a sweet piece. and really, really well made. Looks like walnut dresser set with a nice mirror and just great glassware on top. That's a really good piece. Another guest bedroom, dresser with a sideways oval mirror, very good shape, pretty. Mid-sized desk. These are all the wood slats and sideboards to a really nice 4-poster bed. It's all labeled and identified so you can put it together easily. You have a leather or leatherette seating system with an ottoman, a couple luggage racks, smaller two-piece bed set, side table. This is a 1970s TV stand. In the sewing room, we have sewing things. That's a cute little storage table. I'm not exactly what they use that for, but it's pretty. Full up top. Nice mirror. Again, we're in the sewing room upstairs. Back in the master bedroom. Pretty dresser set. I love this lamp. That's really a classic mid-century piece. Lastly, we're out in the garage to look at some miscellaneous items out here. Again, a picker's paradise with miscellaneous tools and yard equipment. This is actually a combination Costco headboard, footboard, built-in everything bed set in perfect condition. You just have to put it back together again. But there's all kinds of neat stuff in here. There's a Craftsman bushwhacker. There's a trunk. Another old style desk. Sleds. Bicycles. It's a great old bike. There's your sleds. There's your yard tools. Pretty much any yard tool you could want is here. So again, this is Steve from Estate Max. We're in Potomac, Maryland, April 11th, 12th, and 13th. Address will be announced the day before on Facebook, our Estate Max page, cleverly entitled Facebook, and on estatesales.net. Go there the day before the sale. The address will be announced. Doors open at 10. There will be a line because there's so much cool stuff here. So we'll see you April 11th in Potomac, Maryland. Thank you.